Good morning, students, and welcome to Mrs. Kilmer's classroom. Happy St. Patrick's Day! We'll be talking more about that later. Anyway, this morning, students, I thought we would enjoy our regular morning stretch together and also give your parents a chance to see what we do every morning. So, let's get ready to get a big stretch in. We're going to breathe in and stretch tall and then blow out our air like a loud balloon. Here we go. Into downward frog. We call this downward frog, not dog, frog. We're getting a good stretch in our ankles. We're getting a good stretch in our knees. We're getting a good stretch in our hips. Now we're going to drop our head and stretch our legs and roll up. Here we go. Drop my head and roll up. Okay, now I'm going to make sure that my feet are about shoulder width apart and my arms are hanging at my sides. We're going to do mountain pose, and my arms are hanging at my sides. My legs are straight but not stiff, and I'm going to gently close my eyes and relax and enjoy listening to my breath go in and out. And I'm focusing, I'm concentrating on trying to listen to my breath go in and out. I'm not making a loud breath, just a regular breath going in and out. Seeing if I can hear my own breath going in and out. I imagine myself a strong, calm mountain. My feet go down to the center of the earth. My head is touching the sky. I am big and strong and calm. Breathing in and out. And today I want you to get a picture in your mind of something that you can be grateful for. Being grateful is knowing we're lucky to have something. And I know that in this time when we're in our homes, it's a little bit difficult, but we are so lucky for all the people and the things in our homes that are taking care of us and making our life nicer. So you could imagine a parent or someone who's taking care of you, who loves you so much, and maybe they're even happy to have a little extra time to spend with you. So send them some hearts as you breathe in and out. Send that loving person hearts and love. And then I'd like you to get a picture of the things in your house that you can be grateful for. Maybe it's your cozy bed. Maybe it's a comfy place on the sofa with your favorite pillows where you like to sit to read or cozy up and watch a fun movie with your parents. Maybe it's a place in your house that's all set up with your writing materials and coloring and drawing things, or some craft materials that you can enjoy doing while you're at home. And you know that we're so lucky and we're grateful to have these things to make our lives nice and to help us continue learning and enjoy ourselves while we're at home. Breathing in and out. Okay, let's gently open our eyes. And now we're going to wake up our voices. Here we go. Ooh, wow, ooh, wow, ooh, wow, ooh, wow, ooh. E-I-E-I-E-I-E-I-E. Wow, that sure sounds different with just one grown-up doing it. Okay, so we're going to do two songs today. First, we're going to start off with the teapot song, because you know that a lot of our songs use the teapot tune, so let's just practice that once to make sure we got that down. Here we go. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Tip me over and pour me out. And the idea is that we're bouncing on one leg without falling over. Okay, I hope you were able to do that. Now, if you remember, a few days ago we started learning our new song for St. Patrick's Day, our leprechaun song. So I'm going to show you the words so you can practice the words once. We'll just sing it once and then we'll do the actions. Here we go. I'm a little leprechaun dressed in green, the tiniest person that you have ever seen. If you ever catch me, so it's told, I'll give you my pot of gold. Okay, And let's go ahead and do it with the actions. I think we started off like this, showing off our green outfits. Here we go. I'm a little leprechaun dressed in green, the tiniest person you have ever seen. If you ever catch me, so it's told, I'll give you my pot of gold. So, and the idea to explain to your parents is that in our songs we're learning actions, we're learning to sing and do things together, and also we're practicing our skills. A lot of our songs have popping up and down, you have to keep your balance. So that's why we enjoy doing the songs together. We could do the leprechaun song one more time. You want to? One more time. Okay, here we go. I'm a little leprechaun dressed in green, the tiniest person you have ever seen. If you ever catch me, so it's told, I'll give you my pot of gold. Okay, so I'm going to take a little break for a minute and get things set up to read our morning message. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the morning message. March 17th, 2020. Dear students, happy St. Patrick's Day. What do you know about St. Patrick's Day? Try to count some facts on your fingers. Mrs. Kilmer. You know, let's reread that last sentence. Try to count some facts on your fingers. Have you ever wondered why Mrs. Kilmer asks you to count facts on your fingers before we start learning something new, or when we're getting ready to learn some more about something? It's because I'm trying to wake up your brain. Your brain works better if it's making connections. So if you can wake up your brain by thinking about as many facts as you can about something before you start to learn more about it, that will help your brain grab on to the new information. So when I ask you, what do you know about St. Patrick's Day? Some of you probably know a lot, but I think all of you must know at least a couple of facts. You know it must be about someone named St. Patrick. And it must have something to do with green, or the color green, because everything about St. Patrick's Day seems to be green. So there's two facts. And you might have seen this symbol around, so you know, it must have to do with some kind of green leaf. So there's three facts already. And now we've made our brain more awake and ready to make some connections to the new facts that we're going to learn in the nonfiction book that I'm going to read to you. Hi, students. Before I read you this nonfiction book about St. Patrick's Day, we're going to review some nonfiction text features that we've learned about. I think it'll be fun for your parents to get an idea of all the stuff you've learned about reading nonfiction. So let's start off with remembering nonfiction books are about people, places, animals, events, and things that are real. Nonfiction books are full of facts. Nonfiction text features help us understand what we read. Pictures, remember the sign for picture? Like a camera taking a picture. Okay, there are captions. Captions give us information about the picture, and they're usually smaller than the rest of the text. And our sign for caption is, like you're putting on your cap, caption. Okay, a heading, our sign for heading is put your hand on your head. A heading tells what you will learn in that section, and it's usually bigger, often bold. Chart. A chart is a diagram that shows information. Maps and timelines are different kinds of charts. Okay. Table of contents is a list of sections with page numbers, usually at the beginning of the book, that tells you what information you will learn in the book. And a glossary are important new words and what they mean. And usually that's near the end of the book. And sometimes glossaries are just with pictures in kind of beginning books. Sometimes they have pictures and words defining them, and sometimes they are just words. And index is a list of important words that are in the book and the page numbers where you can find them. Okay, let's start our nonfiction book about St. Patrick's Day. If I sneak peek the cover, I can see there are two girls and they're wearing these funny pretend beards, red beards and green hats. They have green clothes on. Oh, and one of them has a kind of a little flute, like she might be playing a flute, and they have freckles. I see that symbol of a leaf again that we saw in the morning message. Oh, and on the back I can see a list of books, like this is in a series of books about holidays. Okay, let's start reading. Happy St. Patrick's Day by Abbie Mercer. Oh, table of contents. What is St. Patrick's Day? Who was St. Patrick? St. Patrick and the Irish. Symbols of St. Patrick's Day. How to plant shamrocks. A how-to. Oh, wow. Leprechauns and banshees. I know what leprechauns are. I'm not sure about banshees. Parades. Irish dancing. How to cook Irish soda bread. Celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Glossary, index, and websites. Oh, there's a heading. Oh, there's a picture. Oh, and here's a little caption. Okay, what is St. Patrick's Day? St. Patrick's Day is a special holiday that comes each year on March 17th. It is a day for Irish people to celebrate their country. Many Americans and Canadians whose families came from Ireland honor their family's homeland on this day. People whose family is not Irish can celebrate St. Patrick's Day too. It is a great time to have a party and learn about the traditions of another land. Some people tell Irish stories and sing Irish songs on St. Patrick's Day. Others honor this holiday by marching in a parade or going to a party. Oh, look at those girls. It looks like maybe they're marching in a parade. These girls are taking part in a St. Patrick's Day parade in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Oh, heading, photo, caption. Who was St. Patrick? St. Patrick's Day honors a Christian saint or holy person named St. Patrick. St. Patrick was born in Britain in the late 300s. Britain is like England. When he was about 18, Patrick was carried off to Ireland and sold into slavery. After 6 years of slavery in Ireland, Patrick had a dream. He believed that he had heard the voice of God telling him to leave Ireland. Patrick ran away from Ireland and became a priest. A priest is like the leader in a church. Although he had suffered in Ireland, because remember that's where he was when he was a slave, Patrick decided to return there after becoming a priest. He hoped to help the Irish people and to get them to become Christians. The caption says, when St. Patrick came to Ireland as a priest, he got hundreds of people to become Christians. Oh, heading, photo, caption. St. Patrick and the Irish. In Ireland, St. Patrick caused many people to become Christians and found many churches. Some people even claim he drove all the snakes out of Ireland. That sounds like an interesting story. In time, St. Patrick became one of the patron saints of Ireland. The Irish people honored St. Patrick's Day by going to church, feasting, and dancing. In the 1840s, crops failed all over Ireland. So crops are fruits and vegetables, foods that are grown for people to eat. So it's explaining that in the 1840s, something went wrong, and the food that people were hoping to get to harvest to eat, it didn't come. So it was really a bad time. People did not have enough food to eat. Many people died. Others moved to the United States, hoping to find a better life. The Irish kept celebrating St. Patrick's Day in the United States because it helped them remember their homeland. When their crops failed, many Irish families had no food. This time is often called the Great Hunger. Oh, look at that picture. And I want to stop for a minute and remind you about how we learned about the Statue of Liberty
and how the Statue of Liberty was a statue that so many immigrants saw when they came to the United States, and the Irish was one group of immigrants who came from their country because that was a very difficult time there. There wasn't enough food for everybody, so they came to the United States. So St. Patrick's Day is a fun day to celebrate the traditions of Ireland, but it's also a good opportunity to make a connection to immigrants and how we're all immigrants. All of our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors came from somewhere else to come to the United States. Oh, heading, picture. Ooh, there's a close-up. We talked about close-up photos and a caption. Symbols of St. Patrick's Day. Over time, St. Patrick's Day became a celebration of Ireland as well as of St. Patrick. Many of the symbols of Ireland became symbols of St. Patrick's Day. For example, people often wear green on St. Patrick's Day because green is a symbol of Ireland. This is because Ireland gets lots of light rain, which causes many leafy green plants to grow there. Ireland's best known green plant is the shamrock. Shamrocks are small plants with 3 leaves on every stem. They grow wild in Ireland and many other parts of the world. Shamrocks are another symbol of St. Patrick's Day. Ireland is well known for its green countryside. Oh, countryside, that's a compound word. Countryside, countryside. Inset, inset means like a little picture that is set inside a big picture. Each of a shamrock's 3 leaves is heart-shaped. Do you see what animal is there in the fields too? Look at those nice fuzzy sheep. That looks really pretty. What beautiful countryside. That's a good word to remember. I think you all know the word country, but countryside is a little new. Oh, here's the how-to. Heading, how to plant shamrocks. Shamrocks grow outside or inside. It is easy to plant a pot of shamrocks to brighten up your house. Step number 1. Fill a flower pot 3/4 of the way up with dirt, like the girl on page 13. You could use dirt from your garden or buy dirt, called potting soil. Step 2. Buy a pack of shamrock seeds. Sprinkle or loosely drop the seeds over the dirt in your flower pot. Then sprinkle enough dirt over the seeds to cover them fully. Step number 3. Water your seeds. Check the pot each day to see if the seeds need more water. The soil should always be dark and a little wet. Step 4. When the shamrock plants sprout or appear, put the pot in a sunny place. Make sure to keep watering it. Soon you will have lots of green shamrock leaves, like the plant on page 13. You know, this is actually an example of a chart, right? There's 4 boxes with the steps, and they're numbered to teach us how to plant shamrocks. I'm also making a connection to a number of you who have told me that your families have been planting seeds, taking care of small plants to get ready to plant out in your garden and in yards. Because guess what? If I look back on my calendar, I can see that Thursday is going to be the first day of spring. Isn't that exciting? Okay, let's continue. Leprechauns and banshees. Oh, look at the photo of that man. He has like a red beard, a red colored beard, and he's wearing a kind of a funny hat. And there's a caption. Okay, let's read. Like shamrocks, leprechauns are symbols of St. Patrick's Day. Irish stories say that a leprechaun is a fairy man who makes shoes for other fairies. The fairies pay a leprechaun in gold. Leprechauns always hide their gold, but if you catch a leprechaun, he will tell you where his gold is hidden. I'm making a connection to the song, right? I'll give you my pot of gold. Leprechauns are just one of the many kinds of fairies that appear in traditional Irish stories. Another kind of fairy is the banshee. Banshees are fairy women who are tied to a human family. When a member of that family dies, you can hear the banshee keening. Now that's a new word. Keening is when someone is crying, kind of crying and screaming because they're sad. Well, banshees sound a little interesting. Okay. The caption, this man is dressed up as a leprechaun in honor of St. Patrick's Day. Parades. While some people tell old Irish stories to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, others watch or march in a parade. Strangely enough, the very first St. Patrick's Day parade took place in the United States rather than Ireland. In 1762, Irishmen serving in the British Army held a St. Patrick's Day parade in New York City. Oh my goodness, 1762, that was before our country was even the United States. So that would have been British soldiers, before we had become a country. Interesting. Today, New York City still holds a big parade. Other cities, such as Chicago, Illinois, and Boston, Massachusetts, have important parades too. Many of these parades have floats and marching bands. Police officers, Irish groups, and dancers also take part in many parades. Here's the caption. These men are playing music on bagpipes in a St. Patrick's Day parade in Chicago, Illinois. Irish dancing. Oh my goodness, look at those girls so dressed up. Oh wait, did I not show you the detail on this? Let me show you the picture close up. Oh, and that musician is playing an instrument called a bagpipe, marching in the parade. Irish dancing. Irish dancers take part in many St. Patrick's Day parades. These dancers do a type of traditional Irish dancing called step dancing. Step dancers move their feet very quickly and exactly. They do not move their arms or upper body at all. Many step dancers are young boys and girls. Most dancers are trained in special step dancing schools. There are two kinds of Irish step dancing, soft shoe and hard shoe. Hard shoe dancers wear heavy shoes to beat out loud rhythms. Soft shoe dancers wear soft, quiet shoes. The reel and the light jig are well-known soft shoe dances. It says girls often wear special dresses with colorful patterns when they do Irish dancing. And I'll tell you, Irish dancing is really amazing. If you have a chance, maybe your parents can help you find a clip of some Irish dancing on YouTube. It is so astonishing how Irish step dancers make their feet move so quickly and either making sounds if they're wearing the hard shoes or not, but it's really amazing. Oh, here's another how-to cook Irish soda bread. Eating traditional Irish foods is another way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. One of the best liked Irish foods is Irish soda bread. Ask an adult for help when using the oven or a knife. You know what? I'm not going to read all the instructions for this because I feel like our book is getting a little bit long. But if you are interested in cooking Irish soda bread, I'm sure your parents can find a recipe online. In fact, I'm thinking of making some with Jo later today. And there she's mixing up, that girl is mixing up the dough. And here's a close-up, a zoom in showing what the soda bread looks when it's all done. Celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Irish soda bread is not the only Irish food people eat on St. Patrick's Day. Some people eat a thick soup called Irish stew. Others sip drinks that were dyed green for St. Patrick's Day. To make a green drink, add a few drops of green food coloring to a glass of milk. Ooh, I'm making a connection to green eggs and ham. Lots of people say everyone is Irish on St. Patrick's Day. This means you need not really be Irish to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. The Irish happily share their celebration and traditions with people from around the world. Next, March 17th, remember to wear green and have fun. And here's the glossary, where it has a list of the new words from the book and what they mean. And in the back, here's the index, where it lists some more of the important words and exactly where you can find them in the book. So remember that whenever we finish a book, we have to remember to do something. Because if you just set the book down and walk off, well, then you probably really aren't going to remember much from the book. So I'm thinking the thing that I might do, and I'll probably do this off camera, I might go back and look at that Irish soda bread recipe. That looked very interesting to me. And I think I also might take another look back at the picture of the girls with their beautiful dresses, the Irish step dancers. Wow, and the patterns on their dresses, and then maybe I might go online and look at a little Irish step dancing, because I've had friends that did it, and it's really quite amazing. That would be fun to look at a few videos of that later today. So please be sure that you do something at the end of every book you read. See you later.